Tinubu is not a good man at heart. I'm saying so. We are not a nation. We are a country of several bedfellows just put together, and we are living in pretense. Everything has now matured. I don't know what you say. We are about to fail. We already failed. Now it's election 2027. Everything is speaking versus Fubara, and like that. Governor of my state, Osun State, has no party now. He ran to Accord Party. Accord Party has been divided into two again. The National Accord said they don't recognize him. Immediately, 753 houses. The man, he should be put on tenure to say, look, you are sick now. You should give him injection to say, you are not well. It's some sickness now. It's not, I pity him. I wish somebody can take me to interview and say, Mr. Emefiele, what is your problem? Are you paying children's school fees? Is it cash that you need? Why? We need to ask him. You need to put on television, on live town hall meeting. Let him talk to Nigerians. Let him say what is pushing him. The same thing Malame now. The thing that they said he has
57 buildings.
Only SAN that has not tried any case on his own in his life.
That was not known prior to becoming AGF.
Yeah. So what do you want all these hotels for? What do you want all these buildings for? What's the purpose? Emefiele ought to have been stripped of everything and be sent to Sambisa for it to be farming. They will film him while he's using hoe and cutlass to farm. When people see that picture, they will now know, you go from the top, you go to the PRS bottom. People like Yaya Bello also. That's why President Tinubu is feeling big time.
Now, let's get right into it. January 15th, I'm sure that date will ring a bell. It will be 60 years since the 9th January 15th, 1966 coup that truncated democracy in Nigeria, and the issues that resulted in that coup, the Nzogu, popularly called the Nzogu coup. Have those issues been addressed? And has Nigeria made progress since then?
Nigeria could not have made progress because 60 years ago, the low level of our society, those who are not schooled, who are not educated, who are not civilized, the military, Form 4 graduates, dropouts, they took over us with guns. They are now appointing professors, appointing doctors, lawyers as their assistants. That reversal of intellect and ability that the military brought in 1966 has been with us up to today. And when the soldiers left, governors and all that, they enabled the dregs of our society. They gave them more blood, they empowered them, gave them all the money to take over the political space. In effect, the class of 1966, the sword of Damocles is all over Nigeria up till now. The political class we have now, they were enabled, empowered, and they were foisted over society. No political parties, no elections, it's all money. Terrible. 60 years of debacle.
So, Doctor, if I get you right, you're saying we have not made any progress.
We have gone backwards. We are not moving. We have been going backwards. The only thing why we appear as if is that because we have some surplus money at a point. If we had no surplus money, we would have gone. Even now, we have too much money than sense. In any case, the oil money have been exhausted. Now, they are borrowing money. Now, they are bringing taxation to still raise money to waste. Military is to waste. It's to conquer and plunder. We are being plundered up to now. Terrible.
But Doctor, some would argue that we have had some civilian, leadership. We've had civilians head governments in Nigeria. I mean, just this fourth republic since 1999, they've all been civilians, even though a couple of them, have military backgrounds. What do you think?
They were all made by the military. Obasanjo was imposed by the military people over us. Yar'Adua also is a product of military. His brother was chief of staff headquarters. Is he hardworking more than you or me? They just unpicked. Then all the people that Babangida gave oil blocks, 44 of them, Danjuma and Co, they are all the ones with the big money now. They are the godfathers of Nigerian politics. A civilian, you have to go to one of them. They give you 1 billion. Then you go and see them in the morning or see them in the night. We have government by godfathers who were made by military. So the civilians are not there. No civilian. Even the current president now, Where is his factory? Where is his bookstore? Where is he selling it? Which invention did they achieve to own what he has now? It's all military enabled, military facilitated. And you have not worked in your life to produce value for yourself. You cannot produce value for the society.
So, should we apologize to the families of the Nzogus and the Ifeajunas, all those young men who laid their life, who paid the supreme price?
No, we don't need to. It's just accident of history. They have bad luck that they had good intentions. Any of us who are my age group, who lived through 1964, 65, up to 66, we were all yearning for Messiah. Zogo, in my own mind, personal opinion, was well intentioned. He was betrayed by some people around him who are compromised. It's just bad luck. If they turn it right, Nigeria will have been saved from the little excesses of the Fulani-inspired problem in Western region. Western region rejoiced when the coup happened because we were under subjugation. But people like Ifeajuana, they compromised the laudable objectives and intent of Zogo. Quite unfortunately, we are unlucky. Just in the same way too, we are unlucky with Godwin Oka coup. If Oka coup succeeded, we will have solved problem of this Fulani thing once and for all. Again, the coup failed, not because David Oka was not well intentioned, but we are just unlucky as a people. The time for our luck has not come. We have been having a series of misfortune. I don't know what to say, but this is a fact of history.
These are very heavy statements, Doctor. Because if I remember very well, Gideon Oka's school, 1989, am I right?
Yeah.
His school was to the intent that he wanted to excise some part of the north from Nigeria.
Yeah.
You support that?
Yeah. Okay, what are we talking now? America had to bomb Sokoto now. Is it not the same northwest? That's the channel through which all the Fulanis are coming to Nigeria from Mali, is it not? That's the hotbed of terrorism now. Supposing this thing was solved in 1989, they will have been on their own now, and the rest of the country will have been relatively managing. But because Oka saw tomorrow, we didn't see it then. In 2026, we are now saying the Northwest should just do their Sharia the way they want. The rest of the country don't want Sharia foisted governance. So we just have to pray. I pray for Gideon Oka every day. It was well intentioned. It could have just solved Nigerian problem at that time, but we had bad luck as a country. In the same way, we had good luck. Awolowo became premier in 1954. He ruled only for
5 years.
5 years only. 5 years only.
Western region, anyway.
Western region. Awolowo, Yoruba were lucky to have him just 5 years. We are still eating from the fruits of what he did in 5 years. Was that not luck? We are trying to pray for the Lord to come back now. It's difficult. We have been having some series of misfortunes over the year. I just wanted to one good luck that happened to the Yorubas, and we are holding on to it.
Let's dovetail from this, because you alluded to the insecurity crisis. You know, some have posited that Nigeria is actually on the brink of, state failure. Some have outrightly, described where we are currently as, state failure. First, do you agree? And then, what are the issues, the factors that have contributed to making Nigeria, get to this point? How have we managed or not managed them?
We are not a nation. We are a country of several bedfellows just put together, and we are living in pretense. Everything has now matured. I don't always think we are about to fail. We already failed. You cannot leave Abuja now and go to Lagos and at 12 noon to drive yourself. If you do, your heart is coming out from your throat as you are going. We have 3 budgets, 2024, 2025, 2026. We don't know which one. We are now having tax regime. Everything is not settled. National Assembly spent maybe 100 billion. They are doing constitutional reform. We don't hear anything about it. They want to have 83 amendments. It's been put in abeyance. They have been talking about state police for almost 10 years. Ordinary simple bill. In fact, we are just numb. Any small thing we want to do, we just talk about it and we abandon it. We are not a nation that is proactive. We just skate over issues. We move on. Now it's election 2027. Everything is Wike versus Fubara. And like that, governor of my state, Osun State, has no party now. He ran to Accord Party. Accord Party have been divided into two again. The National Accord said they don't recognize him. Is that the way do we have party politics in Nigeria? No, no political party. And you must belong to a party to run for office. And there's no political parties except APC, where everybody has moved in. And they're all moving for various bad reasons, which cannot be explained by ordinary human beings. So our society is just like in the wilderness, everybody for himself. That's what doggy dog, that's what Nigeria is now. That was it's unfortunate.
You know, Doctor, even some of our fellow Nigerians, you know, not just government people, ordinary citizens will vehemently argue with you that, you know, you're mistaken, that, oh, there's great progress being made and all of that. I mean, they will tell you that, oh, the current president has, you know, tackled the issue of revenues, so there's so much money now coming in, or he has what's it called, FX, you know, FX rate is stabilized, inflation has come down, and so on. So, I mean, are you saying it's all doom and gloom?
We are misdirected. Somebody like me, I schooled the University of Ibadan free of charge, and that scholarship or bursary. Now, every generation of the current youth now, they are saddled with a loan of 500,000 naira per year. That's burden on them, universally. The country is saying that we are poor, you are on your own. We who enjoyed the benefit of almost free education at university level, University of Ibadan, we are the one now that say, no, you have to borrow money. Well, people having SUVs, every car in the world is available in Nigeria. But it's supposed to be greatest good for the greatest number. Therefore, with the top 5% of anywhere that will do well, there'll be one lion in the forest. But the rats and the cats and the ghosts will be scavenging. So I run a secondary school. My parents, how can somebody pay now for 3 children in a private school? In the whole of Abuja, we're not supposed to have more than maybe 5, 6 private schools. All children should be in public schools. Only small elites. But now in Abuja, we have almost 2,000 private schools. In Kuje, where my school is, we have over 100. All kinds of schools teaching all kinds of nonsense. People are being paid 30,000, 40,000 for a month. You go to the suburb, don't focus on the central Abuja. Go to Kubwa. Dinner roads are the worst in the world. Even where I live, dinner roads are bad. We are all suffering.
Doctor, you are painting a very dire scenario. So let me ask you, let me just throw this in, I mean, as a writer to that question. If governments at the basic level of providing qualitative, you know, free education for the citizens, the future, the leaders of tomorrow, then what is the role of government? How is it that our leaders cannot understand this?
The leadership of Nigeria is misdirected, and the way you emerge determines your attitude. If you have to buy form 100 million just for me alone to contest under political party, you have to now do campaign of Nigeria, one Nigeria, under 100 million. Some people have to sell their house. Then you have to recoup the money. I pity my colleagues who are in population. You cannot be governor now without spending at least 1 billion, except in Rivers, where Wike said he financed everybody from government money, and he's demanding loyalty, demanding absolute obedience. So our political system, it totally put people in prison. We cannot, nobody, if I'm to be a senator now, I ought to have stolen money somehow, or somebody to finance me, which I have to respect. We don't have government of free people. We have government of captured people, intellectual. You cannot expect much from them. You can't. And we are saying this, but unfortunately, we are in darkness in this our country. It takes somebody to switch on the light for us to see who we are. I know a minister, I was in his office. People from the village came to see him in Abuja. He had to borrow money, please, let me give the money to these people. If they stay overnight, I have to put them in the hotel. He borrow money from all the officers in the office, please. He had to pacify them, please, I will talk to your problem. You go back to the village. Because if he doesn't answer them, he had to put them in hotel. Second day. So if I'm a minister now, my so-called people, they are my thugs. They are my enforcers. I live for them, and they will put me there. Their children's school fees, their wives' pregnancy, That's what we are doing. We are not running a good system. We are not. So if you continue, they can be like this forever. Of course, we have slavery for 500 years now. So we're in slavery, internal slavery. First about by the military in 1966. I don't know, it has something has to give. There come to be a time when we will get to the point. It could be this taxation by Tinubu. If people start paying tax in the next 6 months, and somebody is driving 5 SUVs on the road, but then protest is not welcome in Nigeria. If you make a little small protest now, government will bring miscreants to come and scatter you. If it doesn't work, they bring soldiers and bring police to shoot like bullets. So there is no means of civilized protest, no means of expressing grievances. If they shoot you in the House of National Assembly, they don't even know you that you have died. They don't know you. So we're just marooned.
This is interesting. Doc, corruption, one of our major, problems, would seem to have, eaten deep into the fabric of our society. Everywhere you look, almost everywhere, every sector, institution, private or public, is, eaten up by the cancer of corruption. And my question is, the FCC, ICPC, you see them, make this, TV arrest, parade the suspect and all of that, take them to court, and then they are granted bail. There are activities, that's the FCC and ICPC, even the Nigeria Police, to some extent. Are there activities, this whatever they are doing, is it performative or is it real? Is there any substance to it? I mean, look at the case of Yahaya Bello and then currently Mamalami.
You have brain tumor and you are applying ringworm to your head. So we have to apply Saudi solution. In 2018, the king of Saudi brought everybody who has money together into a 5-star hotel and said, look, all the money you have, no fight, but you don't leave this hotel, you surrender the money. And you grant amnesty thereafter. You can see Saudi Arabia is now on upward trajectory. They are changing all their Islamic laws. Since that time, much money has come in, clean money. How can somebody, okay, there is no punishment now. Emefiele, 753 houses. The man, he should be put on tenure to say, look, you are sick now. You should give you an injection to say, you are not well. It's some sickness now. It's not, I pity him. I wish somebody can take me to him to even say, Mr. Emefiele, what is your problem? Are you paying children's school fees? Is it cash that you need? Why? We need to ask him. You need to put on television, on live town hall meeting. Let him talk to Nigerians. Let him say what is pushing him. The same thing Malame now. The thing that they said he has. Only SAN that has not tried any case on his own in his life.
That was not known prior to becoming AGF.
Yeah. So what do you want all these hotels for? What do you want all these buildings for? What's the purpose?
57 buildings.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You want shelter, food. What does that mean? What does that mean? Some people have mental problem, and we ought to go to mental problem of Nigerians when they are in power. If you don't go there, then there is no sanction. Emefiele ought to have been stripped of everything and be sent to Sambisa for it to be farming. They will film him while he's using hoe and cutlass to farm. When people see that picture, they will now know, you go from the top, you go to the barest bottom. People like Yahaya Bello also.
Sir, I was coming to Yahaya Bello because I might be wrong, and I'm asking, it's a question. The absence of deterrence in our justice administration system, is that not the reason why corruption has become, if there's any word I could use, more than cancer? Because look at Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello is taking pictures. In fact, he's the de facto governor of Kogi State. Usman Ododo is just, a placeholder. That's the right word. So I like what you're saying about Emefiele being taken somewhere to be. But is that because you use the example of Saudi Arabia? But I would have thought you would have mentioned China. What do you think, sir? What do you think?
Well, all of us are made to be corrupt in various ways, but because we have no clear example. Nigerians are the most liable human beings. Because I never knew that we can use seat belts. When road safety said we should all use seat belts, we were all laughing. But during that time, somehow, when we knew that road safety was serious, everybody, we are used to using seat belt now, even though nobody is being arrested anymore. In the same way, if you have a leader, that's why President Tinubu is failing big time. You will have taught somebody work in Mobile, somebody who had American education. You will have a different attitude from this big power 10. You will have me to say, look, I have only 2 or 3 agbada. I don't need more than that. You don't need more than 2 or 3 agbada for yourself. That's all you need now. Pay your children's school fees. Have a little car for yourself. What I have, I give it to the state. All of you, bring everything you have. All of us, in 3 months, we will comply. Everybody, if you have 10 houses, surrender 8. You need only 2. If you are now caught lying, a jury of your peers of 3 or 5 people, when they say what you have done is wrong, you are summarily dealt with. Either go to prison or go to concentration camp. Your family is stripped of all assets. But it takes somebody like Tinubu, if you are to be a good man at heart. Tinubu is not a good man at heart. I'm saying so. If he has feeling of Nyerere of Tanzania, who was selfless, and to liberate people from all these things, we pray we have to have somebody like that eventually.
I believe what you mean by not a good man at heart in terms of leadership that is selfless, servant leadership. That's what you mean. Because some will say that he's a very generous man and all of that.
Right.
But sir, you didn't actually conclude on the issue of Malami and the Ayabelo. What should the government be doing? What is expected of the government to send signals to others that you cannot steal? You might have Binta better do, because we never heard anything about that case anymore.
There's nothing we can do. The framework, we are in darkness. When somebody brings ordinary candle light, we will all see ourselves in that brazen nakedness.
So in essence, EFCC ICPC are just being perpetrated.
Oh, it's just a waste. It's just a waste of time. Uriede himself, do you know what he has? I'm not alleging anything, but do you know what he has? Because himself he will be compromised. The fund that Ibori gave him $115 million bribe, he didn't accept. Everything is just going inside. But if somebody comes in as overall leader of Nigeria and says, I have only 2 or 3 agbada, and nobody needs more than that. You empower whistleblowers. Anybody who has 10 houses, he declare only 8. People will say you have 2 more, and you are in for it. Some industries will be done, but you cannot have a baby without having blood in the maternity. When the baby is now good, you forget about the blood eventually. But we have to do some psychological cleansing of the system. It's not do the SCPC. No, we don't need law. We need morality. Morality as a compass will clean the system.
Christmas Day, if my memory serves me right, President of America, Donald Trump, ordered airstrikes in Sokoto, against the bandits, terrorists, and all of that. And he said that's not the last, that's not the end. There are more. If this spate of killings, senseless, heinous killings continue, there will be more. What's your take on that?
It's unfortunate how are the mighty falling in the midst of battle. Afghanistan was theater of war now for almost 30 years. Then Syria. Nigeria become a theater of war. Once you don't put your house in order now, you invite outsiders to come and poke your nose. If you are calling with your wife and you shout to the street, neighbors will have to come to intervene to say, don't kill yourself. So it's unfortunate we found ourselves in this junction where we were appealing to be a Security Council seat holder. Now we are under the jackboot of Donald Trump. Quite unfortunate. The main problem again is that we are not solving it. Since 1960s, that I can remember very well, the North believes Western education is of no use. They were breeding Amajiris. People don't go to school, they don't learn anything. About 20 million out of school. Anybody between the age of 15 and 40 now in the North have not been to school. They are not mechanics, they are not bricklayers, they are not anything artisan. All they do is to sell little sweets and little suya. So the pool from which you can draw bandits is unlimited. 50, 60 million, 70 million people between the age of 20 and 50 in the North are available to be carrying AK-47. And the religion of Islam is even positive, but somebody dies. People don't worry too much about somebody who has just died. If you died at this time now, in the next 4 hours, you are buried. So death is on the lower scale of in the human calculation. So if I say I will kill you, to threaten you and say, with death, kill me now, I'm going to heaven straight. It has no deterrence anymore. You understand?
So on average, no.
It has no deterrence at all. So if you kill, I had to kill over 200, that's strike.
Yes.
If they kill another 1,000, no. because you marry many wives, you have many more children, there are marriages. Even your cows, have you ever thought about it? You have cows, you just want the cows to eat free from nature. You don't want to grow grass, you don't want to invest in the business, and you're selling a cow for 1 million naira, and the cow just go and eat some of this crop anyhow. So that mentality has to change. The leaders of the north have to and there are no sign. Many of my colleagues in the north, they are still defending that is their way of life. Cows can eat anything it wants, but you are selling the cow. Why not give the cow free? If the cow is eating grass free, you are not giving the cow free, but the cow is somebody's investment. Is cheating mentally. I don't think anybody has really thought about it that way. If you give the cow free as charity, then your cows can eat grass free. Then is it not true? But you are eating grass free and you're selling cows at close to 1 million naira a piece. You are cheating nature, you are cheating society. So the problem of banditry, Trump, we're just going to be like Afghanistan. Russia has spent 20 years in Afghanistan. They withdrew. America is there. They withdrew. CIA, Mossad, KGB, they are still operating in Afghanistan. The same thing in Afar said Syria. Iran is coming to the world, they just unraveling. And it's so unfortunate that Nigeria will now be a theater for experimental statecraft in the world. It's so sad.